Welcome to the Kendy and Raybo podcast, sponsored by Anderson's Bar and Grill and the Blind Tiger Bar.
How are ye? How are things? Thanks a million. Fair play to you all. And thanks for filling the seats as well. Why is everybody terrified
the middle table
of that table? That table is never full. Like.
But tonight there's something different. There's that tape underneath it.
That makes people think you can't
People
go
you can't sit there.
So listen, fair play to everyone for coming out though all the same, because tis treacherous weather outside, tis raining cats and dogs and all that. So fair play to you for coming.
Thanks.
In what might or might not be the last live show, which we alluded to during, we can't say allude when Lukey's around, which we alluded to during the week, because we don't have any more schedules now. That was kind of a little marketing ploy, because we probably will have more. We just haven't decided what they're going to be yet.
But you can see the panic brought the crowds out.
Oh, it did. They said, geez, we better go and see the death.
Yeah.
Let's go see the death of Kendy Raybo. What's going on? Hello? Hello? Oh, yeah, you're all right. Check in. Yeah, so that's the crack. There's also some Latin dancing going on upstairs, if anyone thinks this is a load of shite. No, there is. There's all this Latin dancing. Salsa
dancing.
And it's all this. That's my Latin move there. As I rub
And
my stomach.
it's mostly women and Tony Travers.
Yeah. So, yeah.
He's the only man that cottoned onto this a couple of months ago.
But isn't he so smart, like?
Oh, totally.
Because he was like, okay, maybe the jiving is dead, right?
Maybe Tinder's dead.
And he's like, I can get, maybe Tinder's dead. I could be the only fella to go up and dance with 40 Spanish-blooded women.
Because that's the difference between social dancing and salsa dancing.
Yeah.
It's just different
Social
demographic.
dancing smells like tato. It smells like cheese and onion tato, and they smell all lovely. I'm not going to say anything else because Brendan told us not to be racist.
Right.
So, there's a little French Guinness Street there. Oh, lovely. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start. Anyone who's been at the shows knows the crack. We're going to talk for a little while, then we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to talk for a little while. Now, I thought it'd be good, Ray, if we could start with, we never do prep, ever, right? Yeah.
Keep it up!
Yeah, keep up the no prep. This is the first time ever, for some reason, I was having a conversation last week with another proprietor of a bar in town, okay? And that proprietor of this certain establishment said, I asked me staff during the week what their icks were. And I was like, what's an ick? And he explained to me what an ick is.
Do you want to explain to the crowd?
Does everyone know what an ick is? Okay. I have since found out that this, women created this, by the way, to give out about fellas.
Yeah.
It is absolutely 100%, that's what it is.
Yep.
So it was women's way of saying, I don't like when a fella does this. But now fellas are fighting back and saying, we're shower bastards. Or how about you're a shower bastards. Yeah. So we put up on our Instagram yesterday to try and find out what people's biggest icks were. Some people in the room probably sent us in some. Ray has some of them here. We got about 70 responses and we picked out a couple because some of them are just...
Do you want to give the original ick? The one that kicked it all off?
No, I don't. Oh, the origins of the ick.
No. The original one that you told us there last weekend.
Oh,
the best one ever. Or do you want to save that to last?
Okay, no. Well, this is my favourite one. I'm just going to say this straight off the bat because this is what I mean, right? Fellas sent in their icks to us and they were like, oh, my biggest ick is like when she does drugs or when she doesn't like her family.
Those as
yeah,
well,
like they were all fairly straightforward icks. Like, women are so fucking petty.
Yes.
Like, I'd be terrified as a single fella. No. No,
I caught myself there.
I would be terrified as a single fella walking around if I knew that women are watching us that closely, right? Yeah. Because this is my favourite one and it just sums it all up. I won't say who it is.
Rebecca.
Yeah, Rebecca. Okay, so...
It's my job in this podcast to keep us transparent.
And if anyone knew Rebecca, she's the sweetest, loveliest girl in the world, like, you know? And her ick is when she sees a fella running for the bus.
And you can picture it, can't you?
You just know what... And then she said worse than that. She said if there was a chance that she was still going to be with him is... She said if he makes it to the bus, but then he's out of breath. So she's just pictured this, and she's like, oh, fuck. Oh, I can't fucking be with. So that is the exact kind of petty icks that you bitches are coming up with out here, right? While fellas are worried that you're on the coke, you're worried that fellas are running for a bus, okay? So I got very interested when I heard that one, and I said, we have to ask people what their biggest icks are, okay? So you wrote down some of your favourite
I wrote
ones.
down all of them. Because they're all very, very appropriate.
No, don't be like, oh, they're all brilliant, because, you know, some of them were just drugs. Okay, so could you want to read
one each, isn't it?
Well, just read one and I'll see if I had it as well.
Right, okay. Swinging legs in a high stool like a kid.
Yeah, I love that one. I got that one as well. You know when you see a fella like that, like... You know what I mean? So the fucking worst thing, the worst thing about this is that, like, I hate saying it, but I get it too, though. Like, when someone says that, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, you can't be going with a fella who kicks his fucking legs
I know,
on a high
speaking
stool.
of that one, and this doesn't even come in the Instagram, I know a certain person that the ick was, and I don't even know, should I say this? You know when you have to check yourself going, ooh. Certain person wasn't impressed when she was brought to dinner and the gentleman accepted the option of a high table in the restaurant as opposed to a low table.
So that's an ick. Why
That
would
was
that
an
be?
ick.
Why would that be?
Because she was up on a stool. She didn't want to be up on a stool.
Okay, so this is the kind of petty shit I'm on about, Ray. Like,
Go
this
on,
is
you
some-
go.
Like, this would make or break relationships. Oh, I can't be with your man, you made me sit in a high stool. Like,
Yeah.
would you ever?
You go on with
Okay,
your next one,
okay,
yeah.
so this was a belter of a one. Okay. Let me check myself first. Okay, perfect. Okay. When they tie their shoelaces, but the loops are massive. I mean, that is unreal. Because, again, that's like a childish kind of thing. Like, when the loops are way too big.
I'll come back at you with a lad's one.
Oh, yeah.
Girls farting.
Okay, now, I know who sent that one in as well.
Oh, do you?
And that is so petty because everyone has bodily functions,
Yeah,
Raymond.
I'm all for the farting. Some of the best laughs I've ever got out of my life are from farts.
Yeah, okay, no, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, because, no, that is absolutely true because everyone knows I'm a comedy genius, obviously, right? I am an absolute comedy genius and I bring out my best when I'm with my wife, Nicola.
Yes.
I pull out all the stops, right? And I get a blank face saying I should never have married you. This is some bullshit. And then I'll rip out a little fart by mistake getting off the couch and all of a sudden I'm the funniest man that ever lived in the world. So there's something primal about a fart.
I nearly poisoned Laura in the bedroom last night. What came out of me was not right.
Oh, stop,
And
Ray.
I then got a pain from laughing about it.
Yeah, I'm going to get sick now, actually.
Suffice
Like, the
to
thing
say-
is, so, with women, right? Okay? Are we going to go there now?
Well,
Because
okay.
this is a fella who said, when women fart, that's disgusting.
Well, it's never happened. I have to say, I've never heard Laura fart.
Well, women, I always thought women don't fart. That's what I would have thought.
Go for another one.
Okay, this is from a fella as well, and this is the only pessy fella one, okay?
Okay.
He said when he sees a girl on holidays and she's wearing goggles in the pool.
A girl.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be more. I read that as a fella.
No, it was a
Because I
fella.
wear goggles all the time in the pool because I can't open my eyes. Now I realise I was unsexy all those years.
I think it works both ways. There's nothing like, because you see that James Bond thing where Daniel Craig is coming out of the water and he's ripped as a bull. He's not
wearing goggles.
He's not like painting to his face with goggles. You know?
Yeah, true.
But it's the same. And it actually reminds me of another one. There's a friend of mine who didn't send it in, but I remember he used to nearly get sick at the thought of a woman cycling a bike. Right? And he doesn't know. He thinks it's something to do with the cheeks. He can't really tell what it is that turns him off, but I think it's the cheeks hanging over the saddle that makes him go, oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck." You know what I mean? And this is way before icks were a thing.
Is that Derek?
This is way before icks.
No.
No, it's not.
No, it's not
No, it's
Derek.
not. It's straight away. You're like, who? I'm going to tell everyone who it is. No. But like, there's not a lot of women cycling bikes in the west coast of Ireland, thank God.
There's plenty.
But not there is more now.
There is.
But it's a very suburban thing. So when he'd be driving around Dublin, he'd be like, oh, Jesus, that's rotten. Way before icks. Way before icks became a thing.
Long fingernails.
Yeah, that's one. That's
That
more.
can't be because women have long fingernails. This is a fella's thing.
He doesn't
This
like
is-
when they have long
this is
fingernails.
fellas with long fingernails. That actually bothers me too, in fairness.
When they do have long fingernails. Why?
Because I can't. I know.
Well, I bite mine down to a nub.
Yeah,
now,
me too.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The way it should be.
Yes.
Stressed out of your mind.
Yeah,
Fucking.
exactly.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're like, how come you're not stressed? Why have you long fingernails? Like, Okay, so I'll give you another one here now. I'm trying to. Men in the bath. That one hurt deep now. That one fucking cut me open.
And that actually came in, and I thought of you when I seen it.
So this woman put up men in the bath is her biggest dick.
you.
But we've talked about me. I fucking love having a bath, right? But we've talked about it before. But there is something. It's not very sexy.
There's nothing sexy about a man in the
There's
bath.
nothing sexy about like that, right? And the water is up to here. And you're trying to look over your belly at your bag, and you're like,
Because you haven't put enough suds in
your
it.
bag is floating. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, if
And
anyone
little-
saw
a
me.
little ducky.
Yeah, a little duck, yeah. And then Nicola comes in and washes me hair. I can't get back up now. I fucking can't get back up, Ray.
Go on.
Jesus.
I'll carry on here then. So you did the big braids.
Oh yeah, someone said his missus came home from holiday with braids, and he said
Game over.
He just said the end. They said that was it. But
Yeah.
what other one? Okay, let me see, because we're not going to go through 70 of them, obviously, but some of them are. You can see what we're getting at with the kind of...
Polo necks.
What?
Polo necks.
Polo necks was a big one that people had when they see a fella with a polo neck on, that they can't be dealing with that. That one I don't get at all.
No,
but clothes...
I can see it.
Clothes came up a good bit, like bad dress sense. And I just thought of you with the Jack and Jones, and I was like, oh, poor Ray. Another one, Ray, which was fellas who walk without moving their arms. That was, can't be dealing with that. You know, if you're walking, like, and you're not, for some reason that puts
Michael
yours
Flatley
off.
job.
Yeah, like a Mike, they wouldn't be big into Irish dancers, Irish walkers.
Desire to drink breast milk.
Okay, can we get on to this one? Because this isn't a nick, right? This one wasn't a nick, right? I feel like saying to her, this fella, can you please report him to the police because they're definitely looking for him for something. You know what I mean? You know, like when you hear, we're going to hear on RTE News now eventually, like, local man steals 66 litres of breast milk from fucking, I don't know, the hospital, and I'm going to go, I know who it is. Co-op. So this fella wanted to drink his Bjore's breast milk, right? Yeah. And she said, I've never been pregnant in my life, not once. I don't know how he thought the body works.
It's a little fetish.
I felt like saying to her, that's not a nick, that's a fetish. That's not a nick, that's a fetish.
You're right.
Absolutely. Is it your turn or my turn?
You go.
When two fellas high five, that turned this woman off. She couldn't be dealing with us at all.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad, is it?
Try it there and see.
Oh, it's wrong. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I can feel it there now.
Did that look weird?
A man trying to catch something, all hunched over, blown away.
Brilliant. This one is exactly like the bus one. So this one was like, let's say if he drops money.
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. If he drops money and he's like running after it.
Yeah, it's the helplessness.
It's the helplessness.
Yeah, men
so I was talking to someone before the show, and it's when fellas demasculate themselves without knowing that they're doing it, like running after a bus or a £10 note. Any other one?
No, opening their vehicle with a key, because obviously that's central locking.
Yeah, opening their car with a key.
That hurt me, because for the last 6 months, I've been opening the van with a key. I'd have to wait for Laura to get out before I go, you out there now? I lock it now, so well.
Like, that's women and a status thing. That's like, I can't be dealing with a fella who doesn't have the status.
There's no central locking.
You know? Because everyone knows the coolest fellas are the fellas who do it without looking at the car. You know, he'll wait until he's half a mile away, and then he'll hit it as well. I'm trying to see, is there any more? Before we actually, like...
What?
I don't know if you've thought about it, but surely this got your mind racing, though, this topic.
In what way?
As in, like, have you thought about what yours would be? And I know we're fucking, we got to be careful.
I know, and in fairness, I can't think of any. However, I can't. I tried to think. I actually sat there today with a piece of paper and I'm going to write down now my one.
Ray always does this, by the way. Sorry, no. He's like, no, Laura's absolutely perfect. Yeah.
But I found out.
But Mark, tell me yours, you prick.
I found out what Laura's ache is.
What?
I asked her yesterday evening. It came up because we were watching Below Deck, as we'd watch, of an evening. And
so boring.
A really fit gentleman was dressed up as Cupid, so he was wearing little underpants for one of the guests. And he was looking well, like, fine state of a man. And I turned to her and said, what do you think of that? She said, oh, disgusting. And I said, is that an ick of yours? So toned men is an ick of Laura's.
Yeah, but that's, Ray, that's almost like her saying, yeah, but the big ones... Ray, that's like her saying, Ray, don't worry, the big ones hurt anyway. Like, don't be... You know what I mean? That's her saying, no, I don't. I
don't like to.
No, I fucking, Jesus,
I have another one, bigger tits than she has.
That was a fella, by the way.
That was a fella, yeah. I have loads of these beanies. Little beanie hats.
So someone said, not just beanie hats. Someone said when beanie hats are rolled up above your ears and they're just sitting on a fella's head.
Yeah.
Teeny weeny beanie. Is someone know what they mean? Yeah, you're like, oh shit! Because I would have always thought that the staple of Irish sexiness was the old fella who has a hat on that doesn't cover anything. Like my dad.
My father has that. Yeah, he wears a teeny weeny beanie, but he doesn't know it's stylish.
Did I ever tell you the time? Oh my god, I shouldn't say this, and I might have said it already. So this is probably the second time I should have said it. So little hats like and stuff, like an old fella's wearing them, and they don't cover anything. There's no point in having them all and all. My father barely has a hair left on top of his can, but he wants to protect it one time when he was cleaning out the oil tank out the back.
Okay.
Middle of April. And the only hat he could find inside was a Santa hat.
I love the way you give me the month.
Yeah.
Because, it's actually relevant.
Yeah.
I was confused there. Why were you telling me the middle of April?
He didn't want to get oil in his hair. And we were like, it's all right, he's only out the back. It's not that embarrassing. And then he said, I just have to go out to the car. Out the front of the house just to get something out of the car for minutes. And we were like, Dad, no. Because if the neighbours see you, you'll be locked up. Please, please, please. But I think there's a sex symbol thing about old Irish fellas wearing hats that don't cover fucking anything. So I don't agree with that beanie one. But I think she's on about hipsters though. That's what that woman's on about.
Nose hair.
Yeah, that was a big one as well. If a fella has nose hair, which is funny because that's my ick is hair related as well. But we'll get on to that eventually.
People who don't have an 086 or an 087 number.
That is the weirdest one. That is the weirdest one. She's turned off by if a fella texts her and it's from 083.
085.
Yeah. She's like, what the fuck? Who is this fella? Isn't that so fucking odd? That is 100% the oddest one. Let me see. Have I any more?
Smelly belly buttons.
Oh, come on. That's rotten. That's
everybody felt that, didn't they?
Yeah,
Anyone
because
with a smelly belly button?
That's not.
Oh, you won't tell us anyway.
That's not an ick rate. That's bad hygiene. Do you know what I mean? Oh, my biggest ick is when he doesn't wash, like of course. Do you know?
Loose hand clapping.
Yeah, that.
It's all on the wrist, like.
We get a lot of that right now, I'd say. That's cut just like.
People who call the cinema.
Yeah, and that was a fella on about a girl. I was like, well, maybe don't go out with a 9-year-old, and maybe it won't fucking. Jesus, like, if your missus is saying
maybe it was a 9-year-old that sent that in.
I hope they're both behind me. That's all I'm saying. Jesus.
Have you any other ones? I have one or two left.
Let me see, because you've said a load of the ones that I have.
Sorry, I've kind of done a Kendy on this now and stole your thunder.
No, that's good. No, I like it as well. They're drinking the breast milk. Yeah. Oh, this one. This is a couple who are clearly shouldn't be together because I think he was out about, or hopefully aren't together anymore. Because a fella sent this one in, right? And he said, when she's negative towards my appearance and she's not hectic either. Like, can you imagine that? Like, she's in going like, you dirty rotten, oh shit, I'm rotten, you're puck. Now what do you want to get for dinner? Like, how are they together, you know? Jesus. Like.
I think that same couple sent in a few.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, there was someone, I didn't get them now, but there was someone who sent in about 10 in a row. And I felt like saying, lovey, don't be on to us, get on to a counsellor. Because you should not.
I've one more too. And someone who doesn't have a driver's license. A fella that doesn't have a driver's license.
Any fellas here without driver's licenses? Oh!
Sorry, lads.
Emma, you could do way better now. I'm just saying that. Like, there's plenty of boys out there driving.
Floor drobes.
What?
Floor drobes.
What's that?
Fellas that like to store their clothes on the ground.
Oh shit! I'm in big trouble if that was the case. I'm very bad, man.
Do you not put things on
I
things?
would leave stuff for weeks, like
on the ground.
Yeah. And Nicola's the cleanest person in the world.
Yeah,
like,
how does she handle that?
Well, I've said this before. She kind of has a Stockholm syndrome thing going on, like where she doesn't know any better. I think Nicola doesn't know that some fellas clean up. Like, I don't think she knows that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think she's going, well, this must be the way every fella is, sure. Like,
that's just natural fella.
There's no short straw here.
There was a real odd one. There was some lady who said that her fella would buy fish food, you know, Ben and Jerry's, and he'd let it melt.
Yeah, this is.
And then he'd put it in the toilet and close the lid, and then someone else would come along and open the toilet and
think that someone had shite.
Thinking that someone had done an awful job. In the
so this is a fella that doesn't belong anywhere in society. Or definitely needs a job, because if you're sitting around and what you do with your day is go, I'm going to make fake shite out of ice cream now and put it in the toilet. Again, I want to say to your one, that's not an ick, love. That's a bad fella. Don't be going anywhere near him. Icks are supposed to be like little tiny, little pieces of them that you can't really get over. Putting fake shite in the toilet is not one of those things.
And the last one I had was cheap jeans.
Oh, cheap jeans is a big one. This girl said she was so proud about it. She was like, you don't think I can tell if they're pennies or tons? Like, I know well.
But you don't want to buy jeans in Duns, would they?
Huh? Why do you?
Sorry, that was a very personal jibe there.
But like, I feel like going to her, would you ever go away? What's wrong with pennies or Duns jeans, you old bitch? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's such
No, there's nothing wrong with them. I'm sure they're lovely.
Are they Duns on you right now?
No, they're not. No, I just know someone that went down to Duns and bought a pair of pant and said they're lovely.
A slack.
And I haven't seen them on them yet now, but...
Oh, right. Okay, do I know who you're
But we'll have to wait and see now.
We'll have to wait and see. Could I find out if I went to your house? Like,
probably you could.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Lovely stuff. I can't wait to see that.
Well,
there'll be one girl in Sligo going, oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. So are you really going to be a prick now and tell me that you don't have an ick? The prick without the ick?
I can't think of one.
Oh, you're so annoying.
Not one that I can talk about.
Yeah, you're so annoying because you're making me now seem like a bastard.
Oh, do you have one? Have you?
Oh, Mark, do you have one? I don't have one. Like,
Yeah, go on.
no, now I really don't want to say mine.
No, go on. Sure, look at you. We're all friends here.
Are people going to judge me if I say my definitely?
Sorry, now Laura has one now. Oh, leaving the spoon at the side of the sink.
That's your big ick?
Not leaving anything in the sink really and not washing it. Do you know? You know, any sort of thing in the sink. Think in the sink is some sort of magic box that just evaporates into the presses. You know, leaving the house and things in the sink, and you're looking at them going, "How am I going to wash up my spoon now?"
Yeah, that's hey.
It's not.
Who's actually shouting? That's OCD, right? So I don't give a shit.
Do you know something? That is an ick. Yes, I'm sorry. You're right.
That's your ick with everyone, though.
Oh, wait, no, I'm coming on to the toilet paper. Putting it the other side round, where the toilet paper goes out by the by the wall. By the wall, not close to you in the toilet.
So does that drive you to
That drives me to. I keep having to change it.
Yeah.
Or not replacing the toilet roll. Not replacing the toilet roll when it's finished.
Okay, so
leaving
Ray,
an empty toilet roll there. Look, why?
Tell me more of your OCD.
Oh,
I mean icks.
This
Sorry.
is a tough crowd now, and I don't want to be talking about stuff like this.
Okay. So for some reason, no, I'm not going to get into what I was really going to say because it will offend people. Actually, I actually just realised it definitely will.
Your one, is it?
No, one of my big ones, and I don't know why this is the case, the way it is. But if I see a girl sticking up the fingers, I can't.
Yes.
I can't deal with that. It makes my body go, oh shit. You know, if you see someone do, oh my god, I don't know why. The other one I'm definitely not going to say. I'll think about it during the break and decide if I'm going to say it or not.
Go on,
no,
Mark, go on.
No, because
that's what makes these shows great. You're only armpit hair.
How on
hair?
earth did you get that?
Was it armpit hair?
So I don't mind. You can do whatever you want with your body, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's body, everybody's choice.
Yes.
Or as Kendy's body's Kendy's choice. Okay. So I'm a dirty, smelly, fat pig. Okay. So I'm nothing to be looking at. However, it's fucking revolting. For me, personally. I'm sure it's beautiful in the normal world, but it's my ick, my choice, okay? You asked me my personal experience.
I support your choice.
I think it's rotten when I see. And the worst thing is as well, fuck. So I saw a video today only, actually. I don't know why it's like TikTok knows. Well, I know how to piss Kendy off. I'm going to show him this big fucking hairy yolk. So she was like that, right? Yeah. And she was like, I've been growing them out now for 6 months. Great job. Man, you wouldn't see it. I'm telling you,
bread.
Arbor forestry man wouldn't get into this thing, man, outside Roscommon. Honest to God, you wouldn't chop it. So she was like that. And I was going, oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck. I'm so sorry. Okay. And anyway, her point was, any man, I'm going to go out now and show all the men, she said. I'm going to show all the men, and if they think it's rotten, well, then I know exactly, the kind of men that are pricks in the world. And I felt like going, but no, that's a personal taste thing. Like, as in, me as a fella, like, you could look at me and go, I'm not really into that fella there because he has a beard, like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not really into beards,
no
but that's
one's
okay.
against you here now. It's a safe
I'm
space.
digging a big hole here.
No, you're not. My shoulders have come down now. I've relaxed into it.
Yeah, because you're fucking safe.
I was actually, for a few minutes there, I was like, why'd you say that, Lisa?
So here's the thing. We'll close our eyes. Okay? So, close your eyes. Okay, so I gotta close my eyes because I don't want anyone... If you think that armpit hair on a woman is completely okay and like fellas are pricks if they think it's not, then shout.
I'll report back. No,
just go, woo!
Show of hands who's in favour of armpit hair in general. Oh, God, Mark, you're not going to like this. They're a very supportive crowd.
Am I in trouble?
Yeah.
Oh, bollocks. So what about on fellas then, though? Is armpit hair bad on fellas? You don't like it on fellas?
Do you know what another ick is? When fellas don't have armpit hair.
Oh, that's
you're in now.
So there you go. So there's an ick if they shave their armpits.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's the same thing though. So
like,
it's all
I like
a preference.
to keep the armpits tidy.
This is just me. I'm just saying that because I'm so afraid I'm going to be on Today FM tomorrow explaining why I hate women. Like, you know what I mean? You know when you get cornered like a rat, like, and I'll fucking chew my way out because I'll double down on Today FM. You're all rotten, everybody. I'm just saying, and I feel bad saying that because I get if you do it, that's no. no hair off my armpit, but whatever, you know. Yeah. Ooh. I should have said that one in the box room where no one would go, oh, you prick. You know?
Yeah, but it was nice. I like the. Yeah.
I like that I got to share that with all you. We're all friends, aren't we? Oh, bollocks. Okay.
Yeah. So I think we've covered them nicely there now.
Okay, so that was all of our icks. My favourite is still someone breathing heavy on the bus when they don't make us. That's 100%. Because I could just picture us. It's the best thought ever. So other than that, what time are we at? Should we fucking give these people...
Well, you see, I have a list of stuff to go through.
Yeah.
So the second half will be about an hour.
Yeah. So do you want to give people like 5 minutes and then we'll come back?
We'll take a little break for a drinky poo and come back?
Yeah, you do whatever you want. You're the coolest guys ever.
They don't sound like they want to.
No, let's take a 5-minute break, right? And then we'll come back. So Ray's going to go through his little bits. Let's see what kind of crack Ray's been getting up to this week.
I will give a shout out to the wee Hairspray crowd.
Yeah.
Our ends. A few of the members of the... Hairspray was a musical that was put on here in Sligo over the last 19 nights.
Yeah.
And it was marvellous, in fairness. Yeah. And I have a few bits.
Can I just say with the some of the Hairspray crowd are here, okay, down below. What's wrong with you at all? Because ye did this show for 6 nights straight or whatever, right? And then I was looking on my Instagram at about 2:30 in the morning, and ye were fucking blaring to go on Monday night with some like karaoke fella up doing something.
And they had an after party.
Yeah, they had an but like I felt like going, if that was me, I'd be going, jeez, I might get a fucking cup of tea. That like, ye were still performing at 2:30 in the morning after about 5 nights in the go. Like,
I was asleep.
Was it 5 when it finished? I didn't know the Hawkswell opened till 5 in the morning. Lads, but it don't. It wasn't even in the Hawkswell. It was in a garage. Yeah. Okay.
You really have to throw people under the bus there now.
We don't have to show it next time down there. No,
that's it now.
That's for sure.
No, the thing I meant to say, I was asleep while that after show party was going on, but I was awoken at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for a taxi ride out to Ross's Point.
Right.
Yeah. I had to bring the musical director home.
Oh, gee, out of it.
Out of it she was.
And saying exactly what she thought.
And she had 14 bouquets of flowers with her. from all the gifts she'd got.
And probably saying exactly what she thought of the show.
Oh, she really...
They're all the shower divas.
Shower demons, hard to work with.
Yeah.
The ironic thing was, though, as we were driving down O'Connell Street in my little vanny, myself, Laura, and the musical director, she should be known as Neve for the purposes of this podcast.
Okay.
She happened to run into the younger members of the cast.
Okay.
Including her son.
Oh, shit.
Who all had a little foursome with all the girls. Do you know?
Excuse me.
Not a foursome.
Was this filmed?
No, this is after.
You're telling me that the musical director's son
was just walking the girls home at the end of the night. But how awkward is that? To be, you're at his age, Eddie, give him a shout out. His age, he's walking young ones home.
So he's the underage one, and you said his name and you gave his mother a fake name.
No, his mother's name is Neve. But there he is, he's walking the Bureau's home, he's being the big guy.
Yeah.
Do you know, himself and Sam Purcell. And then all of a sudden, your mother...
Stop naming everybody.
And then your mother rolls up in a 07 Renault Traffic. It must have been awful embarrassing. And her out of it. No, she wasn't out of it, sorry.
As embarrassing as you think it was, it's probably more embarrassing for him going, oh my God, look at this fucking van pulling up with my mother in it. Or, you know what I mean? Like it's
because
the van
she was very animated at the time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I love when you use people's names, by the way.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that.
It makes it so local. Poor old Laura had, fair play to Laura and the mother, they were in it.
Yeah.
And they were very depressed the last day or two. And I tried to empathise.
With nothing to do,
Nothing to do.
Yeah.
Nothing to do. Very depressed, so I empathised. I said, look, I felt this exact same way after Mosney.
Right.
When I was in around 16, coming home from Mosney, after spending so much time with those beautiful people, I just felt really low on myself, and I wanted to go back to Mosney.
Well, I wouldn't know. You know, whenever you try and compare your cat to my daughter.
Yeah. That's it, is it?
They're like, oh, sorry, Ray, did you feel bad after you came home from Mosney when you were 15? Like. They worked on the show for 5 months. I can tell she wasn't
appreciating it, in fairness.
In all seriousness now, the production of Hairspray was supposed to be unbelievable.
Tremendous. You should have gone to see it.
I was otherwise engaged on Thursday night when I was supposed to have gone. But I heard it was absolutely unreal. Yeah. Of all the pop-up productions, it was definitely top 80.
Definitely.
They reckon it was right up there with the best of them. So fair play to you. There's anyone in the crowd there who did it. Fair play to Hairspray.
Look at around.
Do you know what the next show is? Do you know what the next show is going to be, no? Oh, ye shower bastards. Oh, we're not supposed to say it to the lay people.
Right, let's talk about the big story.
Okay.
We went to a stag. Myself and Kendy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I was late leaving, as you correctly pointed out.
Yeah, Ray was 2.5, 3 hours after we were supposed to have left. You finally said we'd go.
No, I was 20 minutes late. And for the remainder of the day, Kendy consistently said, Jays, Ray left 5:30, 6:30. Jays, it was 7:30 before Ray left.
Yeah, the more we got down to people and they were like, why were you late? I kept saying, well, Ray left 3, 4, 5 hours. It kept going up and up. Like, he's not here yet. You know.
The big event of the stag was the paintballing.
Oh my God. Okay, so first of all, how's triathlon going? I want to say that first.
I sent them an email this evening saying I wouldn't be participating.
What? Can I just say, sorry now, well, first of all, I told you so. Secondly...
Why did you have to say? You said you wouldn't do it, told you so.
I know, yeah, but I told you so. Here's the other thing, right? So I know now you can't do that triathlon.
Yeah, I can't do it now because I told him I can't.
No, because, no, I've seen you in action now.
Oh, no.
So we were paintballing, right? And this motherfucker was like a drill sergeant. Remember your man that was looking after us? Man, you wouldn't find it in fucking Full Metal Jacket the way this fella was roaring at us, right? So... I was like,
not me, the other fella.
All of it. Yeah, no, your man who was running the paintball.
Oh, he's full of jokes, so he was.
Right, he was full of jokes and abuse.
Yes.
Like, I was fucking out all night. Will you shut up? So he was treating it like we were actually at war, okay?
Yes.
So he split us up, right? And it didn't take him long, or me, to realise, I think someone here is not really participating the way they should be. We were playing a game called Capture the Flag, and you're supposed to go get the flag and bring it back, okay? Ray sat at the back of the fucking field, behind a load of tyres. Like he was really at war. Like, I thought I was going to have to go over and slap you in the face and give you a pep talk. Let's get out there and do this. Anyway, after about 45 minutes of the game, right?
It wasn't 45 minutes. It was 2 of those where I shied away and hid.
Yeah.
Because I was terrified of getting hit by a paintball and it had been really sore.
Honestly, man, you wouldn't last a day in the FCA. Like, and... So it was about an hour and a half into the game.
No, it wasn't. See, this is what he does. It was a good 15 minutes into the game, and your man had obviously spotted the fact.
Yeah, so we're 2 hours in, and Ray is... So let me take it up from here now.
Yeah, sure.
Because you're going to definitely tell it wrong. Right. So I looked at my watch, and we've been playing for 2.5 hours, and Ray was still behind the tyres, right? Part of the game was if you got hit, you had to put your gun up and walk into this pit.
Yeah.
And you could be tagged back out.
Yeah.
Now, after 3 hours out in the field on his own, Ray was the only man left, right? You were the only man left, and the drill sergeant, you were surrounded, Ray. You were surrounded by enemy boys.
No, it was all the other team and me and my own behind the tyres.
Yeah.
Because I had been careful.
Yeah, very careful, yeah.
I wasn't reckless like the rest of you. Or just some fellas just put their gun up when I'm hit and walked off.
But I had already given up, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, we're not getting back out here. I know, Ray, this isn't going to work, okay?
Yeah.
So Ray's cowering in behind crying, okay? 4 hours later, and your man, the drill sergeant, runs up and goes, you better get up and tag your teammates back out of the pit. Get them back into the game. Run and tag them back out. And he was building you up.
He was roaring at me from the pit.
Roaring at you. And I don't know what came over Ray, but you got this burst of like
bravery,
confidence and bravery.
Yeah.
And it was actually beautiful to see because I could see it in Ray's eyes. He was like, I'm going to go for it then. I'm going to do it.
Liberate my friends.
Ray, I didn't know where he found the strength in his legs because he was 5.5 hours lying down on the ground. He found the strength in his legs and he burst up and he let running like a cartoon character.
I did.
And he made it a step and a half. And he slipped. What ended up happening was the top of his body was going faster than his legs. Right? So his body was already tagging us out and his legs were behind the tyres. He fell, and I'm not exaggerating, face planted into the mud. And all his gun broke and all of his bullets, all of his paint went everywhere. Just all over the ground.
And then I got shot loads of times.
And he was lying on the ground while people were... And I explained to your man.
Then your man says, go on ahead, look, go on.
That's what he said. He felt bad and he said, you're all free. He made an effort. Just go. Just go. But I was trying to explain to your man, you can't be building Ray up like that. Like, you can't. Because his body doesn't work the same way you think it should. You know? Like, you were running at a 45-degree angle. You were fucking... I was like, this isn't going to work. Like, I know well it's not.
I wish there was a slow motion kind of Steven Spielberg film of it.
If I had known, like, it would go viral the way you fell. The bullets just flew all across the field. Oh my God, it was one of the best things I've ever seen.
So your man, I thought that would be enough to get your man off my back.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
He put a high vis on you.
He put high vis on me and he says, "Now, you're going to be in the next game. You're the president," he said.
Yeah.
And you're in a high vis.
He said, "You're like Joe Biden landing in Ballina."
Yeah.
That's what he said.
And so I got a high vis and he took my gun off me because I'd broken it. And he says, "You're the president and your teammates have to protect you." This shower of bastards that had all got shot in the first place. Said, "Ye have to protect him now and get him up the field."
Yeah.
So I immediately regressed into secondary school Ray.
Yeah, I started roaring at you.
Yeah, I just knew at that point, oh great, now there's a target on my back.
Yeah.
The opposing team were better than us. Mm-hmm. Better.
More organised,
They were
for sure.
just better lads.
Yeah,
And no fear. And then I had to, but again, I hid behind the tyres.
Yeah, and I was roaring at you going, "Ray, we have to move, yeah." And again, you guess what happened? It ended up with him being the only one left out there.
Yes.
And again, he got this burst of courage, but you seem to have found this balance in your body. And you kind of realised, I have to keep my legs under me
I
here.
did a Forrest Gump run up
So
the
the
pitch.
idea was you can't get shot at all. You had made it about 4 steps and you were covered in paint. But you just had this carefree attitude where you went, "I'm just going to run to the other end anyway. I don't give a shite."
I finally got on top of it then.
Yeah.
The last item on the stag, it was a great stag.
Yeah.
Kilkenny's a grand spot. We had a late addition to our room.
Are you going to talk about what I think you're going to talk about?
Yeah, when we arrived, me and Mark were going to share a room because we wanted to do, the Sleep Talk app and record and see what happened. And
Yeah, I know, that's what we wanted to do.
That's what.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
I
Wasn't
know,
it?
I wouldn't expect that else.
No. Right. And
Is that really what you wanted to do?
That's all I wanted to do.
Man, I shaved. Shaved everything. No, joking. Come on, anyway.
So, sorry, I've been distracted by a 3 books left joke that was told to me earlier, and you shaving, and I can't get it out of my head.
Well, the best thing you do is steal other people's content. Good idea. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, so you, you and Sean stand in the lobby of the B&B. I says, "I'll share with Mark." What happened next?
So Sean realised that meant that he might have to share with a randomer, and before I knew what was going on, I was sharing with the randomer. Is Sean still here? He is, yeah.
Yeah.
I can say this in confidence now. Me and Ray have been friends with Sean you've been friends with him for probably 15 years. I've been friends with him for 12 years, probably longer for you.
Yeah.
He's the most selfish man I've ever met in my whole life. I've never come across anyone who only thinks about themselves. Ray was like, "Yeah, me and Mark are sharing." Sean, obviously, the light bulb went off that I'd have and he used like mind control.
Yeah.
I don't know how, it must be Cavan thing where they teach them. He's level 8 in mind
But he
control.
managed to say it without you hearing it.
He managed to say it and get me walking down the corridor without me knowing.
Towards the other
He
room.
said something like, "Sure, I'll go with Ray, so."
Yeah.
And he looked me in the eye when he said it. And I was like, "Yeah, no bother." And I was walking down and I was like, "Wait a second, what the fuck just happened here?" How did I end up doing this? But it's unbelievable tactics he has.
Yeah.
He should teach it down in the ATU.
Last item on the list.
Brendan's Bits.
It's Brendan's bits.
So it is.
Brendan sends us loads of bits on the podcast bits.
Did you get that professionally recorded?
I spent €1,000 in the Blue Room recording studio to get that done.
Who's the goon that's singing out of tune?
It's a very professional country singer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do they don't all sound like that?
He did give me a second option if I wanted to go with it.
So you wrote a jingle for Brendan's Bits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to hear the other jingle?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Brendan's Bits. Brendan's Bits. Brendan's Bits. Brendan's Bits. Brendan. Shit.
Make sure, lads, if you ever want to get that done, Blue Room Studios, they get a great sound off it now. You knock a great sound out of it. So that is the jingle for Brendan's Bits. And what does that mean?
As we talk about the bits that Brendan has sent into the WhatsApp group.
The ones that I don't look at?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just 3 of them.
Okay, go.
Scientists have said that humans will now be able to upload the dead to computer by the end of 2024.
The fuck, man, play me Granny on a Microsoft 95. Windows 95. What the fuck?
No, as in you'll be able to upload, like if you have enough videos and photos of a relative, you can give it to AI and AI will go, okay, we have to measure them now, and then you'll have them forever.
Okay, so God forbid.
Yes.
How much do they know?
What?
How much do these AI characters know?
It's only what you give them.
Okay, no, but I mean cognitively.
I don't know.
Let's say, God forbid, Nicola's on her deathbed, touch wood.
Well, actually,
and she says to me, well, I'm after uploading me data, Mark,
Yeah.
promise me you won't find another woman, please. Right? And I'm like, Nicola, don't worry about it, honestly. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Back of my head, I'm going, I'll have a look, like, and
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Does the Dasa version of Nicola online, when I come home, does she go, where were you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or is it just something nice to look at to remember her by?
No,
she's
I
the
think-
mother of my kids, Ray. Like, I think I'd like to look at it. Like,
I think
you know what I
she's
mean?
in your house. She'd be all of the systems in your house. She'd be Nicola. Will still be there.
So, yeah, but this is shite, man.
So
You
when,
saying
you,
I got
when you like something on Instagram after she passes away, God forbid,
Yeah, about
she
15 seconds
she will
after.
immediately unlike it. Yeah.
So she's in my internet history.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't let her in that now. But I mind when she's dead.
Yeah.
So she knows all the crack then about me then.
Yeah, it would be a very unfortunate situation.
Don't tell her
for you.
this is going to be a thing. Please don't tell her.
No.
No, you're gone, Nick. Sorry, now we can't.
But the thing about you is, I mean, you could.
That's terrible.
We could give AI
I'm a fucking
the
prick.
podcast, like 200 odd episodes of the podcast, and that would essentially leave me with a Kendy or a Raybo for anyone that wants one.
You'll go
in the
first.
future years.
Yeah, you'll die first.
Okay.
Yeah. You will be dead first, Ray. Terrible lifestyle.
Thank you.
100%. Yeah. So I could still do the podcast with a version of you.
Yes.
I'd definitely move on from that 100%. You'd be like, do you want me to upload the data? I'd be like, no, yeah, we'll get to that eventually, Ray. You're sick. Shh. Sit down, man. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Sit down, sit
What
down.
other crack do you have there so we let these people go? Come
Baby
on.
smile an average of 200 times a day.
Jeez, not Ali. Fuck me.
The average woman smiles 62 times a day, and the average man only 8.
That is
shows,
heartbreaking.
It's hard for a man. Yeah.
So that's your point there, is that men have it harder because
And
they
then
don't smile as much.
There's one last one. A sperm donor who fathered 550 children is now sued over accidental incest concerns. See the stuff you send me, Brendan. I mean, there's fucking 14 paragraphs of stuff there in that paragraph. No thanks. No, that's Brendan's bits, everybody. Fair play to Brendan.
That one is so weird.
Yes, it was. And the last thing I'm going to do, so we're wrapping up the show here.
Can I do a shout out before we go anywhere?
You do a shout out.
I want to do a big shout out to a listener of ours in Germany. Her name is Sarah Ploss, and she sent me a message saying she can't wait for this episode to come out again because she's feeling a bit under the weather. And a big shout out to Sarah. Fair play to you, lovey.
Fair play to Sarah.
Also, the fucking are you going to do the letter that
I'm
we
going
got
to do the
sent?
letter. Lads,
Yeah,
just to
the
let
last
you know,
thing.
this last thing, we'll let you go home after this. I got a letter in the post 2 or 3 days ago. This is a girl called Siobhan S.
Yeah.
And she wrote.
We
a
don't
letter.
know who this is, by the way.
Don't know who it is. She's from Dublin. She started off with a Dublin compliment. Fair play to me, she said.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she has listened to the podcast 3 times round.
Since September.
That's 590 something episodes she's listened to.
What
And
the fuck, man?
she wrote a very long, detailed letter about us.
Yeah.
And she talked about my stomach problems.
Yeah.
She talked about how lucky Mark and me were to have Nicola's and Laura's.
Yeah.
She talked about Sean O'Reilly. It's great to get a voice in episode 100.
She talked about she was delighted to see me come out of COVID. And
Yeah,
she knows.
she talked about the fact that it's lovely that I have the little brother that I always wanted in Sean's Riley.
Yeah. Yeah, like this woman, this woman knew everything. You want to see this letter, like it was mental to get. And then money in it as well. I took the money straight away and told Ray, read the letter.
Yeah.
So,
She said Derek was her favourite.
yeah,
Out
she
of all
loved
the
Dark.
podcasts.
Yeah, she said she loved the Dark episode. Yeah.
Just
So-
mad stuff.
It's really weird for us because we know a lot of you here, like mostly we like know, so that doesn't matter. Like, as in, we're going to go down and chat to you now. It's
Yeah.
weird when people we don't know are sending us shit.
Yeah.
I got a phone call 2 weeks ago from a girl Gracie, who works in reception.
Yes.
And she said, there's 2 women here from Seattle.
She just works in reception.
In Sligo.
just in
Sligo's
Sligo.
reception.
So if Sligo had a reception.
Yeah.
It's
She
the
works-
first thing you hit when you come into the town.
Out the N4.
Yeah. Oh my God, hi.
Where are you coming from?
Where are you coming from? Oh, you'll want the Riverside Hotel.
She
yes.
said there's 2 women from Seattle staying, and they were coming down to a pub that I was gigging in down the town.
Yeah.
And they didn't know. So she said, there's a guy, Kendy, who gigs downtown. You should go see him. And they were like, is that Kendy from Kendy and Raybo? These 2 women from Seattle had listened to every single episode. When I got in, they were like, well, how's Ali? How's Ray? Ray's getting married in September, is he?
That's
Yeah.
weird.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah.
you know? So thanks a million for listening.
This is
It's
our
really
last night in
lovely.
here until we agree some more.
Yeah, we don't know what the crack is. We might agree with some more.
Negotiations. They'll go
Oh,
on.
the negotiations. Or people are talking to their people.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to, you know. It's come right down to money. They're saying $500,000's enough. No, we won't get into it.
No,
sorry,
don't get
it's
in.
not.
Don't mention figures.
Listen, fair play to you for coming out. You will just keep an eye on our socials and all that, and you'll see when we are going to do more
Thanks
live
to
shows.
Anderson's, though, for having us the last 10 times.
Yeah, so we did 10 episodes here in the last
Anderson's
year.
Grill and Bar and the Blind Tigers.
Fair play to Blind Tiger and for Anderson's for sponsoring us as well.
Yeah.
And make sure when you come in here you get tasty drinks and food and all
And the
that kind of crack.
falafel, is it the falafel fries? They're very nice.
Oh, well, there we go. That's your personal recommendation.
At the moment, yes.
Oh, thank you, Ray.
No
Thanks for
problem
that
at
so much. Fair play again to Brendan and to Brian from Pixar Productions as well. And thank you to all of you, ladies and gentlemen,
Thanks
for
very
coming
much.
out. Ray, fair play to me.
Fair play to me.
Good luck.
Good luck.
The Kendy and Raybo podcast, sponsored by Anderson's Tremendous Event Centre and Wonderful Food Items, and the Blind Tiger's marvellous alcoholic fruit drinks.
So it is.